Okay, so we have all crash landed and we've each made individual decisions prioritizing these items. And now we're here together to make a group decision prioritizing the order you think these items should be in. So you have 20 minutes and go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
All right. My first thought was we need water. So I looked at number 4 and was like, let's purify it. Let's find some water and then purify it. We can survive off water. And I also thought maple syrup.
So you
As a high ranking?
That's high ranking, yeah.
Let's
Okay.
start over. Just kidding.
Well, what's in maple? Is it just sugar?
It's just
though,
sugar.
Or is,
Well,
is there nutrition in syrup?
No.
I was thinking, as far as things to put in our body.
But you need energy.
Well,
That-
for the very first thing, I just thought of the purification tablets. Are we like all in agreement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
I
we all
know
agree?
that.
I think
Oh,
I
go
just
ahead.
don't know that there's a lot of diseases in the Arctic because it's so cold. I don't think like the bacteria can live. So I'm just not sure what would be in the water that would actually hurt you.
They also said there are a lot of like freshwater, like
It's
lakes,
salty.
streams, ponds.
Really
stuff.
pure
Does
up
anybody-
there because you don't have any pollution or anything.
Does anybody know how to identify freshwater springs as opposed to
There's
regular springs?
Well, all
regular
springs are
water?
freshwater. It would all be freshwater up there. You wouldn't have an issue with water up in that area.
Or
I
what
put
about
matches, I don't know if first, but pretty high up because I would want
Yeah.
the fire to be
Yeah.
able to cook things and stay warm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
too.
what I heard too.
I had the mirror pretty high up, the mirror with the shaving kit for signaling and for starting fires when the matches run out.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's not a magnifying mirror. or
But I had the
magnifying
same
glass.
thought that you can start a fire with it.
Right.
A sleeping bag is also very, very important. 'Cause
Yes.
you'll freeze to death. at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
love
gonna
the
move these
compass
to the
part.
top of the list and then you guys can order
I-
them.
I just had another thought about just animals in the water with the water.
Mhm.
Them like using the restroom in the water.
Oh, that's true.
So like using the
What a
tablets for
polite way to
that.
say that.
Using the bear used the restroom.
That's a wild way to say that.
A hatchet, I think, is pretty important for
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
wood
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the
sure.
fire. And then I know the rum seems like a joke, but disinfectant.
Oh
That's
yes.
what I thought,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
it for that up high for that same reason, that exact reason.
I
Yeah.
was also thinking fire
Wounds.
starter.
And yeah, you can
Oh.
totally.
For fire.
I had the Northern Star navigation and the compass pretty high up as well because like you need to know what direction you're going in.
Mhm.
Yes.
I don't remember where I had the compass, but it
I
was
had compass before the book just
Same.
because
yeah.
I'd
It's
like to
easier
think
to-
I know how to get north or south with a
Yeah.
compass. And the book is like, okay, maybe if I have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need both? Or I actually don't know.
I don't know.
If anything, the book could be, I mean, firewood.
Okay, I've
Actually,
learned
that's
it.
a good
All right.
part.
Yeah.
It's easier to start a fire if you have paper.
Mm.
I think the canvas is also like really important for wind and snow and just
I agree.
protection from sleeping on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I had that
Can't
about
break
probably about.
No.
I had that thing probably like mid-level
Yeah.
relative to just the other thing on the list.
Do you want to go backwards? What would be
Yeah,
last?
what's the least?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alarm clock.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a yeah. Unless it's a trick.
Well, so it was. I think
Like the
Yeah.
internals, you could like
I
break it
thought that
open.
depending on the
Bust it
bear
open.
threat, like if you shake an alarm clock or make a loud noise, a bear might not attack
You
you.
know,
Oh,
I
I
never
had the
thought
op-
about that.
I had the
actually.
opposite thought of like it'll come to us. But maybe I honestly don't know.
So
But
you guys
that's
should test it out. You see.
Either way, I don't think it's high on our party
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I
Same
think
with the tire.
I
What
think-
would we do with the tire?
I don't know what we
What
do.
does one do with
It's
rubber?
punctured. If it weren't punctured, it'd be important because you could go across water
Oh yeah.
with it, but it has a hole in it.
It
So
does. I was putting maple syrup like somewhere in the middle because it does have adhesive properties. So if it's frozen and since it's so cold up there, if you put something on the tire and like put maple syrup around it, I'm not sure.
oh.
But
Just
that
to
might...
clarify, this is an aircraft inner tube. So
Is it punctured?
yes.
Okay. So can we all say the alarm clock is last?
yeah.
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 That's fine. I mean,
Oh,
something
we're
has to be.
All right, we made a choice.
We're done.
And then, are we okay saying that the tire is the next thing?
I'm okay with
So
that.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
okay
I
with
think
that.
so.
Relative
At
to
least?
everything else.
Yeah,
number
you can put it
14.
at 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like rope is really important, but I don't know for what. It
Yeah.
just sounds important
Yeah, it
to
just
me.
same,
It seems like we're gonna
same.
go, oh shoot, I wish we had rope.
Well, I thought it went along with the tarp because if
Yeah.
you string it up between two
Oh,
trees,
yeah,
it
yeah.
blocks from the wind.
Okay.
And this is a
Okay.
mountainous region, so you're going to be going over rocks and like caverns, and you're going to have to travel across
Right, it's gonna be
So it's a
slippery
pull
because it's all wet because of the
topography
snow.
to like
Yeah.
pull.
to
Yeah.
attach and kind of rappel down.
How much rope is it?
It's 76 meters.
That's pretty
That's
good.
really
pretty
long.
long. That's a lot of rope.
So then, is it on that spool or do we have it off the? Can we carry all that?
Ooh,
Just
good
roll it.
That's
point.
heavy.
Just roll it.
Yeah.
Heavy.
We
I mean,
can
I
pull
think
the rope with the
you
rope.
could take it off the spool too and kind of like
Yeah, just
put
wrap
it on your
around.
back
Yeah.
or wrap it around you.
What about the flashlight? Because the flashlight's, I think, important at night, but also if we have the matches and get good at starting a fire,
Mhm.
I don't know if we need the flashlight.
It's probably not, yeah, it might be like a flashlight might be number 11 range.
Right.
I mean, flashlights
11.
work in all like different environments. Like if it's windy, a flashlight will start on, but it might
True.
not have fire. So
Sure.
You can also start a fire with batteries from the flashlight.
Oh yeah.
Although you might need an alarm clock internals.
I'm thinking it's
to
going
make
to be
a
pretty
circuit.
windy, and so a fire is going to be super important for heat. But
Mm.
a flashlight, you need light for a lot.
To explore.
Well, in order to start the fire, you might need a light so you can see like what's happening.
And it's
Oh.
pretty far up north, so it gets dark earlier
Earlier.
in the winter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we know what time of year it is? Because it might be
It's
light all the
October.
I
time.
think it was October.
Yeah, it was where it was darker
I don't know. Okay. It's
More.
darker.
than that.
Dang.
Maybe we should move the maple syrup down and put
I'd like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's that important.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
Start
Well,
moving.
I'd say
how
the
many
matches
days do you
and-
think it's going to take us to find, because like, all right, you're thinking we have no other food.
Mm.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, 2-3 days, nothing to eat, like you can drink, but nothing to eat.
What's the
Then what?
what's the rule? It's like 7
We can
hours
eat
without
animals.
water, 7 days without
Yeah, we can survive
food,
like a week or
7
two without food.
seven
Without
something
food.
without
We'll be grumpy,
shelter.
but
And I feel like sugar would just make you kind of like
that's a good
on
point.
an empty
gonna-
stomach. It might make you sick.
I mean, if you eat a lot of it, but also like
It might
I don't
help
know.
a little bit. Like that might be a mid-level. I don't know.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's a 2 for sure.
No,
Yeah.
I'd bring it down to like 8.
Can we move the compass up higher too?
Yeah, maybe we
Yeah, the compass
just
can-
switch them for now, and then
Okay. Top list.
yeah,
Yes,
the compass
compass
is
with-
extremely important. I
With
think.
syrup.
So we have on the top row, shaving with mirror, compass, hatchet, water purifications, and matches.
Do we want to switch mirror and water
Tablets?
purification?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Didn't we say the sleeping bags were also important?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sleeping
shoot.
bag is really important. Yeah, I don't think you could survive a night without a sleeping bag up there.
Yeah, I guess because sleeping bag is like for tonight. Mirror is for getting rescued in a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
So swap the two?
yeah,
Okay.
Sleeping bag?
yeah. And then maybe even
I would like bump it down, like put the mirror where 6 is and just bump everything down until we kind of figure out where we want everything.
Yeah.
If you guys agree.
yeah, they'll do that.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to
That's it, yeah.
rank all this anyway. So the hatchet is for fire. The hatchet is for protection from wild animals. The hatchet can also make a raft.
Yeah,
You can
hatchets are
make-
really important. too.
Hatchet is extremely
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
I don't think the water is important as we think it is, just because everything up where it's cold, there's so much less bacteria, and you can get snow and
True.
melt it over the fire. I'm less concerned about like getting cholera up in the Arctic where there's not a lot of disease.
You know, I just thought of something. We don't have a mechanism to hold water with. So maybe if you pour out the Bacardi, that can be everyone's water bottle.
Or the syrup.
Or the syrup.
Be- and that has a
Thinking.
lid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we actually need the Bacardi for the disinfectant.
Right, right.
And like I don't know what bacteria thrives in that environment, but there's bound to be like something, even though there's fresh water. Like
True.
there are
Yeah.
still microorganisms who thrive.
I
in
just
that,
don't think
so-
it's as dangerous as it being exposed to the elements.
Mhm.
I think
I
that's
think
what.
matches should be top 3.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Or
we
top
need
4.
definitely find. We need heat. Matches might be number 2, because we're not gonna make it to find North if we can't, get some heat.
I think it's more important than water tablets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
matches.
Switch.
So
Yeah.
switch 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're getting somewhere.
Out of curiosity, how many matches is it?
20.
13.
13.
Oh, it's only 13?
13.
So
Mhm.
one a day, really, if you think about how long.
We don't screw up.
Well, if we have the book, we can just.
I know.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true,
Exactly.
true.
I keep it
In
going.
that case, the paper is more important.
Right, because all the tinder that we would find would be wet because of snow.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, it's probably
True.
But there's some
pretty
like
dry snow.
there's some peat up there that like really dense
Yeah, like
nutrient
moss
soil
or-
that will burn.
Yeah, I don't know if it would.
What is that?
Like I've never been in the Canadian
Neither have I.
wilderness.
But
To be fair.
Do we think that the canvas is more important than the snowshoes? We're in hiking boots. They said the snow at its highest is going to be about 3 feet deep.
Yeah, and it said, well, I think
I
it said
don't-
4 to 5, but yeah, I think the canvas is more important. The snowshoes, relative to everything else, I actually had pretty low on
Because
the
there's only
list.
3 pairs anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
unless you guys carry us on your back.
Exactly. I didn't find them beneficial to everyone because not everyone's going to have a pair. So either
Right.
people leave ahead or
Yeah,
we're
Well, I
gonna
was
leave.
gonna say, is it one of those things where you send people to go find help while the rest wait and get rescued because not everyone can make the journey? You know, because some people can't trek
That's
through,
Mm.
you know, harsh conditions and so because they just don't have.
Shoot
The
me.
stamina.
Right, there's kind of
Yeah,
two.
me,
Stay
I'm
behind.
going to stay behind. I'm just going to fire the book.
Like, are we using these tools to survive in the wilderness or to find a way to get rescued?
That's
Because
a
I
good-
think if we're just surviving, the compass would be lower. But if we're
that's
trying
a
to
good
be
point.
rescued, the navigation
The
book
compass
would
I
be
mean, like,
higher.
I think
That's
we
a good
have to
point.
find the
Ooh.
happy medium
Yeah.
and try to do both.
Yeah.
Because we'll need.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We won't get found in a day. We won't find anything in a day. It's all too
Right.
far away. So.
You guys have about 8 minutes left.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
wow.
We're gonna freeze if we don't make a choice in 8 minutes.
I don't know if you have this information, but I do remember it is October the 5th, and I don't remember when they said that the plane was, when they're going to start expecting us to be there.
19th.
It's the 19th.
It's like 2 weeks after.
So we have to survive for that long.
Mm.
And
Well, we have to survive
either
for that long, and then they have to find
And
us,
find us,
starting
yeah.
then.
I mean, at that point you could make a huge bonfire if you've saved all the wood and you have some matches in the paper. You could just make a huge signal fire,
Unless it rains.
unless it
Or
rains.
snows.
Oh,
It's
geez.
not
If it
so
rains,
bad.
we're
Or,
screwed.
well, instead
Well,
of like
that's
40
what the canvas is
degrees or
for.
something,
True.
so it could-
Well, just
True.
like
Unless.
finding wood.
Do you want
dry
to switch the
stuff.
canvas in the mirror?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had
because
the.
shelter is one of the most basic
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
needs in the elements.
I do. All right, so maybe the sleeping bags aren't that bright color, but I feel like, you know, if you in a land of snow, you could see a pink sleeping bag very easily, or just any
Mhm.
color sleeping bag.
True. True.
Because he was saying the mirror to signal, but if we have something that's bright enough to,
right, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a signal fire.
there's one for each of us. So if you like unzip them all and open them all up and spread them out,
Mm.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I didn't think about that.
it'd be hot pink.
Hot pink.
Not a hot pink.
How are we feeling from like 7 through 11?
nope.
That
Navigation.
those snowshoes can come down.
Yeah, I think they can come
Yeah.
down. I like the idea of being able to contain water.
Yeah, do you want to switch with
Yeah,
Bacardi?
yeah.
Yeah, that
Well, the maple
Bacardi,
syrup is
ain't-
larger.
I
Well,
think-
yeah, but
both need to come
Bacardi
up.
can also help you
Yeah,
with
Bacardi,
fire too.
mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like the container and the purification have to go next to each other because without a container, the purification does nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Also true.
Mm.
True.
So you maybe move maple syrup to 6 and move everything down to 1.
Okay. And move snowshoes, or
Yeah,
are you happy with that?
Let's do one. Let's do one move at a time.
Oh man, I think we're down to like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, sorry. Oh. And then maybe move Bacardi to 7. How are you guys feeling about that? Oh wait,
I
I
where's-
think there's enough fuel for fire.
Yeah.
Because we got the book.
Are we certain sleeping
Oh.
bags want to be?
or should we
first.
switch the book and the Bacardi? What?
You're not going to survive overnight, I don't think, without it.
True.
Especially
fine with
because
that
they
being
also
first.
said that half of us is wet.
Oh, right,
Oh,
right.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then can we switch the compass and the matches?
matches?
I think-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good
that's
idea.
fair.
Mhm.
Should we switch the book and the Bacardi?
No, because I
I
like the
think
idea of
the
using
book.
I like the
You like
yeah,
that idea?
for
Okay.
fire.
Yeah.
Paper will
Okay.
be easier to start a fire.
It's a pretty thick looking book too. It's got a big
Yeah.
index. Get rid of the index.
I like how all of us like immediately gravitated towards using the paper for Tinder instead of like actually reading the book. I think that's I think that's smart.
We can read it before.
I'm sure there's pages in there that don't apply to the
Yeah.
Copyright pages.
Copyright
pages. Yes.
Sweden. We don't need that. Tear it out.
Well, my
Written for
thought with the book
Jessica.
was like it's star navigation, so I don't want to travel at night, like not in a freezing cold area like that. So
True.
Exactly.
I feel like I wouldn't
just
have
useful
any
for
use
Plus
for it.
compass.
Paper.
Mhm.
Can the snowshoes move back some? I still feel like they're too high up on the list.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems.
because we're talking about disinfectant and signaling somebody.
We are going to
versus-
have to gather wood for the fire. We're going to have to go get water. Someone's going to have to hunt, or at least try to. So I think we don't want to make our ability to like for somebody to get out of the area that we're in, even if it's the small area that we're in, hard, like impossible.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm just thinking if somebody has a wound, like if we get a
You guys have
wound,
5 minutes.
then that's gonna be if that infection spreads or something like that.
Yeah.
Like health, like that's a health thing.
Right.
What else can you use liquor for besides disinfectant?
Flame.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
I mean, it makes you feel warmer than you are, but
Yeah.
that's
Also,
not going to really help you.
Maybe morale. Like I was thinking about
Everybody take a
No,
swig.
no, he has a point because if we all just crash landed and like
We're
that
freaking
shakes
out.
people up and they're freaking out, then like it'll
Yeah.
Right.
calm you down for a hot minute while you.
Pleasantly inebriated.
Yeah, like this.
While we die. And
Let's just move Bacardi to number 1.
I would feel comfortable
Crash landing
moving
brought to you by
Bacardi in front of the shaving kit with the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never heard that.
I think the mirror serves the same purposes as a fire, and we're not going to have a shortage of wood. So if we can make a huge signal fire,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can see.
It's just because Bacardi has multiple purposes and uses for it. And like the mirror kit, I mean, that you can look nice, but like we also can use the mirror for just the signaling like we were talking about or starting a fire or
Right.
whatever.
It's also a
But-
razor. Would we need that for anything?
Yeah. What else is in the kit?
To eat
Thought
an
about
animal, like if you're gonna skin an animal, if you're gonna like,
But a razor for your
Cut
face will
meat.
dull and that'll dull
That's
really,
just
really
a shaving
quickly.
kit with mirror.
Oh, okay.
Just razors.
Because we all have knives too. We can always skin the squirrels. With
Oh
the
yeah, we
knives.
have
have
knives.
knives.
Yeah, we have
Mhm.
knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Someone thought of that.
What? I'm thinking about this rubber tire. Is there something that rubber can be used for that we haven't been thinking of?
How sanitary is it? What if you can put liquids in there? Great. No, don't do
I don't
that.
know.
Sorry, we had to give you a
No, I'm
stare.
just thinking
We're all
no,
like, can you? I guess.
no, because it's punctured. Again,
But if
yes,
it's
you-
only punctured in one spot, I'm thinking like a
He's
Maybe
saying
we
that
have
that's
water.
the tube to open it. Like that's the this way.
Oh, I
Right.
see what you're saying.
It's too
I
bad
don't
it's
know if
punctured. I
that's-
don't know what
Yeah.
I don't
I don't know how
Yeah.
sanitary it would be.
Wait, what kind of tire is it again? It's a
aircraft.
It's an aircraft.
so it's
Tube.
been on an aircraft.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not that.
You have 2 minutes.
Do you
I'm
guys feel
pretty
comfortable
good about
switching
this
12,
one.
13?
Yeah.
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 Sure. I don't.
All in favor?
Switch.
I feel good about where we are at.
Are you going to tell us the right answers?
The only thing I think is that the flashlight need to be maybe a little higher, just because with wind, because I've been outside before, it's hard to start a fire. In wind, it's hard to maintain
That's
a
fair.
fire. In wind, it's your only source of light, which is really important when there's going to be a lot of hours of dark.
Mm-hmm.
Just wondering if it might need to be a little more important.
How important are you thinking?
Personally, having like spent a lot of time outdoors and gone camping a lot, worked outside, I really don't think that the water is gonna, like the health of the water is gonna be an issue.
Okay.
Having
So maybe that goes 5 and everything else
lived in
slides
places
down.
with where water isn't, yeah,
I'd be
I
fine
think
with putting it at
I
5
think
and
it's
bumping
more
it.
important.
Flashlight.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I don't think disease is our most important concern. I think staying warm
Yeah.
is
Is
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
so 0.5 and bump it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think so.
Although the one disease we would want to worry about is you can dehydrate yourself from
Yes.
I lost it.
From diarrhea.
bowel troubles.
But I think you would get that from food before you get that
Oh,
from
sure.
water in the tundra. If it were anywhere else, I think that would be extremely important. But up where it's
Yeah, you're
so
right.
cold and everything's ice anyway.
Oh, dude, we don't have toilet paper.
We got that book. That book might be again.
I'm
10
reaching.
seconds.
I've never wiped that
seconds.
snow before.
All right,
You quickly want to switch alarm clock up?
biased, so-
No.
We're
not doing
that.
Nice
think
work,
we're
team.
good.
Okay.
Survive.
But I feel really good with what we had.
I do
Yeah, I
too.
think what we have is good.
All right, well, congratulations. This is the final order of things that you all concluded together. So it might be different than what you had individually, but hopefully this will help you survive.
Thank you.